Hey, what's going on, guys? Hope that everyone will be fine. So in this video, I'm going to explain you about the JSON crash course, which has been missing in my whole course catalog. So I believe that this is the right time to create that. And so let's jump in and get started. So what really is JSON? So JSON is a JavaScript object notation, and you know that everything works on the object notations, especially while you are transmitting data from your browser to your server. So basically, that's where we use the JavaScript object notation, which is basically an alternative of the XML, which makes things a lot easier. And JSON is often used when data is sent from a server to a web page, and it's definitely very easy to write. You will see that it's just simply a normal text that you just enclose in your double quotes, having the keys and the values pair. And the good feature of the JSON is that we can use with the AJAX, which is the asynchronous calls, while we often work with the PHP. We need the JSON to fetch the response and send it to the server. So it contains some data types that you later on you will see on example, but I just want to give you a very brief information that we have some data types, like we have numbers, which no difference between the integers and the floats. Like you can have some decimal values as well as the numbers, the integer values. So we can also encode the characters using the double quotes. We can put the strings like names, email, anything else. We can also use the boolean as a true or false. It also contains some ordered list of more than one values as an array, and definitely objects contain unordered collections of keys and values pair, and it can be a null or an empty value, means that we don't assign any value to an object. So that's a very basic, simple JSON syntax that you see that we have a name on the left and the object name to be name, and we assign the value to be Abdullah. So basically, these are the keys and the values pair. So you see double quotes around both of them, and there's a confusion between the simple JavaScript and the JSON format. But remember that the JSON format should have the double quotes both on the keys and the values pair. So it can be used to specify the data types, and sometimes we must use the specified data types. Like if you are assigning the number, then for that case you don't need to assign the double quotes on the value. So definitely the file type should have the extension of .json, which is the JavaScript object notation. So in this example that you see that we have assigned the name double quotes, but age, which is an integer, which has the data type of integer, so we assign the value of 35. And we can also have an multiple object inside that, like we have the street as a city as a property for an address object. So we can have also other properties inside the object. And as I have discussed and we learned in our previous slide, that we also have an array of an object. So there you see we can assign more than one value inside an array. So that's it, guys. So let's jump in and move to the coding section. Alright guys, so just welcome back to the coding section here. So I want to assign simply created the index.html file with the included JavaScript main.js. So whatever the name you want to have, so just to link your main.js file right there. So let's start here. So I created an object. So let's suppose I create the object for the person. So const person equal to, and we have to assign a property here, which is name. So remember this, there's a difference between the JSON and the JavaScript. So in JSON, we give the keys and values to both to be double quotes, but in case of simple JavaScript notation, so we just only assign the value depending on the data type. So here we have our string. So I give it the name of Abdullah, and in order to just check this out, so I just simply do console.log and assign the object, which is person. So if I go to my browser, and I don't need to refresh this because I'm using the live server. If you haven't installed, you can install from the live server extension of the VS Code, and simply right click on here and open with the live server. All right. Next, I want to give it assign another object inside person. So I give it 25, and you see that we don't have put any double quotes because it's integer. All right. So in order to check this out, I want to console the log And in order to access the property for the age of the person, all I need to do is to put the dot and get the value for this property of age. So person dot age, and go back to my browser, and now you see we have only 25. All right, so next I want to do another thing, that if I want to create a function, let's suppose full name as a function. I created a function here, and I just return this out here. So return, um, let's suppose I want to return here Abdullah Masood, and in order to access your function name, all you need to do is to simply console.log, and the object, which is person dot, and we are accessing the function, so use the full name as a function. So I refresh this, and now you see that we can easily get the value for our Abdullah Masood, all right, which is a full name. All right, so I just want to comment this out, and let's move to the another example down here. So I created the let's suppose I want to create a person object, and inside that I just assign here name to be Arij, and we want to give it the age of 22. We want to assign it as an address here, so I want to give it the address of street, something like 5, and Jasmine block, and down next here we can also assign the city. So notice, you see that in address we have assigned more values, which is city to be Lahore, and we can also give it the array of an object. So sorry, not the array of an object, we can assign the object inside the person, so person as an object. So I assign the hobbies, like let's suppose novels, um, movies, um, cricket, and if I want to access those properties, all I need to do is to simply console.log, and for the complete properties I can simply do person, go back to my Chrome, and you see that now we have our name, sorry, not this one. This should include the address, this should include the hobbies, and as well as the name and age. All right, so this one I access all the person object properties which are inside that, which has included the array of an object and some address properties. So next we have to, in order to access the address, all I need to do is to simply console.log, and person dot address saves that, and you see that we can only access the address, which includes the street and city properties. All right, now if I want to have only the city, so I can access it through the dot name, and now you see that we have undefined property. All right, so let me see that why, because this should be person dot address dot, sorry, it should be city. I don't know why I should write this. So now we have Lahore. All right, and next, in order to access the arrays, all I need to do person dot address dot hobbies. Now if I want to only access the movies, because arrays start from the offset of index of 0, so this should be 0, 1, and 2. So in order to access the movies, all I need to do is to give the index for the 1, and it's saying an error here. Why is that? So person dot yeah, it should be person dot hobbies. I don't know, again I just done something wrong, but now it's movies. All right, so that's pretty cool. Now next I want to create an array of an object, so I just want to comment this out and create another let's suppose I want to create here array of an object for the students. So students equal to some array, and I want to assign the property, let's put name to be AB Nation, and assign age 25, and next one to be Sarah, and age 24. You can assign whatever you want to have for an object. So I just missed the parentheses. and I still continuously missing. So age 24. Next, the last one should be name Ali, and age 20, 35, whatever. All right, so now in order to access the all the properties, so console.log and assign the students. Now if I go back, and you see that we have all the array of an object, which includes the name of all the three. All right, so that's pretty cool. Now all I want is to access only the AV nation. So students, this should have I index for the 0. Go back here, and now you see that we can only access the very first property inside students, which is the AB nation includes with the age of 25. All right, now because we have all the three, because we have multiple name inside that, now I want to only fetch all the results which have names inside the students array of an object. So I'm using higher order JavaScript function, or you can use the simple for loop. So all I need is to do is to create the variable let output and assign it to be empty. Next, I want to have here, sorry, just missed this out, and I have students dot for each the higher order JavaScript function that one loop through it. So assign that to people, sorry, student and index as to find the check the loops index. So I also give it that, and I'm using higher order JavaScript function, so I don't need to put any function name here. So output and append through it, so using string literals, string interpolation, so in order to access only the name, so loop through it and only grab the names. Now you see I'm putting here allies, which is basically the child for the UL element, and I need to give it the ID inside the body. So let's positive, oh sorry, UL with the ID of student, I believe that's fine. All right, and these are the allies, and now I want to show on my document. So document dot get element by ID, and give here student um, the ID, which is the DOM property. So dot inner HTML equal to output, and that's pretty much, I believe that's cool. And now if I go back, and this should look like this, which I don't want, so just remove this out for now, and we want to look it later on, but because of short period of time I won't do it. So all I need is to do is to, yeah, that's all good. So rather giving the ID, I just want to give it to the body, which is document.body.innerHTML. Go back to the browser. This looks very horrible, and in order to fix this out, all you need to do is to append symbol like on top, so output plus equal to, just bring the single quotes here and break this out. And now if I go back to my Chrome, and now you see that we have a list of all the names. All right, so let's move to the last topic for this example for the JSON, because we need to convert the JavaScript into the JSON format, which is the JavaScript object notation. So for now, I just want to grab the, let's suppose if I want to grab the students. So all I need to do is to, if I want to convert the JavaScript into the JSON, so all I need to do is to take the students equal to JSON dot stringify is a function. So JSON dot stringify, and all I need to do is to put students inside that, and go to the console.log and put here students, and go back to the browser, and to the console it says error. It shows an error because we are reassigning that, so I cannot use const. I use let for this, And now you see that we have convert our array of an object into JSON, because now you see we both have this double quotes on the keys and the value pair. That's how we can convert the simple JavaScript into the JSON object. All right, so that's it. That's really much it, guys. So in the next video, we will discuss about more videos like this. So please leave a like and subscribe. So I want to see you for the next time.